We have been tackling and fighting against homelessness starting from the 80s, and we were successful in the beginning to halve it from 20,000 to 10,000, but then it was more difficult because the problems were difficult. Then we decided to go on with the Housing First model. 11 years ago, the government put 4 persons to formulate a new approach to how we can reduce the long-term homelessness. And the opposition came from mainly not from the political parties, but providers of the services of the old type, those who are keeping the shelters and were doing work. They wanted to help people in the street. So it was difficult to convince them that we have to renovate these shelters away, and it took some time. We are convinced that you can't solve the problems of a person without a permanent, secure and affordable housing solutions. That is the cornerstone for everything else, to work or study and relationship with your relatives or friends. You can't do it if you don't have a secured housing solution for yourself. We know that by experience and by history that when people has a house of his or her own, the life quality is much better, and it's a question of human rights. And then, of course, for the society in the whole, it's cheaper to get people housed than they living in temporary shelters or in the street, because they use a lot of services, but this use doesn't help anything. It's more costly. And when you are housed, you can get the targeted services you need, and we have some surveys showing that it's about 15,000 euros per year per person, cheaper that way to the society. You can't see these expenses when people are homeless in the streets, but they put a lot of stress on the service system, and they have very low quality of life. And we improve the quality of life, and it's cheaper to do that. Of course, Finland is a relatively wealthy country, but it's based on the good public services and system of high taxation maybe, but I think it can be adapted all over the Western European countries as well. There is a consensus among the political parties in Parliament, because we have continued this approach during 3 governments of different color, and they have all been committed to promote this Housing First model. So it's not a question of the color of the government. I think they are all, if left or right or the middle parties, are all within this consensus. This is a very tricky problem, so there are no easy solutions. But we have noticed that this Housing First model is working, and that is good enough for the politicians in the Parliament to continue it.